Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102x4. I'm Lipstickpaddy, and today we're looking at Story of Many. This is another preview. Excuse me, I've been blowing my nose all this week. Maybe I've got summer cold here in Mexico because it's only 40 degrees. Bum bum. Yesterday I covered my most anticipated game for this quarter 4 2024, which is of course Rumble Planet, but I had to come back and do this video because this one has me. The reason for me, if you've got an anticipated game, it means that you know a lot about it. However, it doesn't mean I'm not excited for this one. It's just that I don't know much about it, but what I do know, it leaves me wanting more. So this has got high interest. I'm going to call it my tentative game of quarter 4 2024. Now, before I start this, I just want to remind you that this channel is all about board gaming, that is crowdfunding. All my videos should be relevant for anything upcoming, live or late pledge, or some kind of topic in the industry, like for example, why it's okay and it's actually good if games are late on crowdfunding. Anyway, we've got all great stuff on the channel. Check out my playlists because there's so many great videos that you can check out right about now or after this video. Anyway, so Story of Many, what the heck is this? Well, it seems like it's going to go head-to-head with the big Awaken Realms game that is coming out later this year also. And they're both similar things. This idea of creating your hero, exploring the land, and doing your legacy is the game found. Awaken Realms game is about the destiny bit of your character, whereas this one, it is a bit more loosey-goosey, I guess, because I don't know what's really happening. I do recommend you do come on here. There is 12,500 people really excited at this game. It was at Essen last year, and it's hugely ambitious. Hugely. You can see from the top there, 400,000 words of adventure text. Wow. You will get a free gift, which is actually a character class. It comes with a free mini, so this could be like a $10 add-on, so I'd recommend you come on like all of us here and start following it just in case it turns out to be spectacular. I'm going to come down the preview page and then I'm going to jump in the 4 updates because they go in deeper. This video, by the way, there's 2 videos here. One of them is a gameplay for checkout. So make sure you check the gameplay out because this one, story, is absolute poo-poo. It's just, there's got nothing related to the game. Anyway, they're showing off minis here, but there is expected to be standees. It is a long play time. You see 150, so it's like a 3.5 hour game. Soloable. Although you might have to do 2 heroes if you're coming in here due to its, I think it's been designed for 2, at least 2. Now, so talking about content, what makes it special? 56 unique regions. I think this is going to be this world map that they have. It does say different resolutions, so you will be zooming in to these map areas, and I think there's going to be maybe 40 adventures, so zoomed in maybe, question mark, don't know about that yet. But certainly there's a lot to do. 200 rumours, because you'll be asking about stuff to visit places, blah blah blah. It's got branching narrative. It says narrative branching here, which is wrong. It's not made by an English team. It's their first language anyway. It's branching, narrative branching narrative, isn't it? So there is going to be an ecology here, fog of war mechanic, unique map, different resolutions of experience there. That's going to be interesting. Narrative procedural content generation. What is that all about? So it looks like it's really pushing the boundaries of what we can do in a board game, and it's pushing it in really from role playing, isn't it? So But I think this narrative procedural is choose your own adventure, where you ask a question and then you've got to turn to the book to get the answer. I think that's what procedural means. Now it does say over 180 unique monsters, and it's floating minis here. Are you gonna have 180 minis? How much is this gonna cost? Standees. It looks like it's gonna have a big footprint, so I don't know why they don't do like acrylic standees. Might be cheaper, because 180 minis, if they're all gonna be, you know, miniature wise, that's gonna be really expensive. And if you've got 180 unique monsters, that means different AI question mark for all these. Like, it's a huge undertaking. That's what I mean. It's got a huge role-playing game, and they've made it into a board game, but it's just got so much depth. Now this create your own character thing here is interesting. Now they're giving a hint here of what kind of things you can see here, but we're going to look at this in one of the updates, and it's bananas. So 10 plus classes. It might stretch out when the campaign goes. I think this is going to need a lot of stretch goals actually to do this, but I guess if it is expensive, the stretch goals are going to be blown past. Anyway, interesting classes: Barbarian, Cleric, Fighter, Ninja, Paladin, Pirate, Rogue, Seer, Sorcerer, Wizard. I'm hoping there's a Bard actually. 28 different armors. That's a bit sad, because if you're going healer, are you wearing armor per se? I mean, maybe there's light. Maybe they can stretch that out a bit more. Anyway, 72 weapons, 80 wondrous items, 21 different herbs. Is there going to be a lot of crafting? It does say there is going to be enhancements, 50 armor and weapon enchantments, thousands of combos. Interesting. 30 Grand Emporium shops, 24 events in the world that will happen, secret formulae. I think that's crafting, is it maybe as well? There you go. It's like boasting 60 plus minis, but if you've got 180, that might mean there's going to be stretch goals and maybe add-on packs to get all these out. 3 different campaigns to go through, which is very ambitious, isn't it? And 60 hours is one of these campaigns, so it's going to be 200 in, and they might do more. Who knows what they're going to do when it comes out and it stretches. It says ultimate character customization. No fighter will ever be the same. It takes 15 minutes to set up, which is nice, and it feels like the amount of monsters you've got, it's like its own monster manual if you want to do your own story, homebrew. They were at Essen 2023, which is where most of the buzz came from. You can see the giant world map that they've got. And if you look to the right, it looks like they're putting cards out to maybe put a dungeon down, question mark. Now, we're kind of... Oh, that's the story one. You want the gameplay trailer? This is 2 minutes, so I'm just going to say, so you can see a big, look how big it is, world map. All these different locations that you're going to be moving around. Concept of resolution is you will be zooming into these places, so you will be roaming around, and then when you zoom in, you can see there's a... Get off that. You can see the deck comes together to make the resolution closer. Does it just jump to the next one because I paused it? Oh, it's terrible. So yeah, it's interesting how it comes out, doesn't it? So you travel to a location and then the deck changes the resolution. You've even got interiors. You can see you're inside a courtyard here, maybe now, and you can see there's plenty of minis in the scene. Dice chucking, of course. AI for the enemies. Gives you a little bit of the art here, and the complexity of the AI looks interesting. We've got a character creation here, there's only 3 in here, so not worth looking at that. That's out of date already. And you can see things flip in here, and it's a little, makes it interesting. Look at that player board. It looks so incredible, doesn't it? Loads of places on the map, of course, with all the resolution. It looks tons of miniatures there. In fact, I think these lighter minis here are the... Stop switching. These lighter minis here are the class miniatures, and the darker ones are obviously the monsters. The free gift, by the way, is this Reaver Witch. And you can see here with the Reaver Witch that she does have her own deck of cards, which is interesting. So, again, we don't know much about it, but it's definitely my most tentative game. Because, you know, one, is it sounds like it's going to be super expensive, doesn't it? And 2, we need to know more, because that gameplay preview just hints about, you know, what you're going to be doing. Anyway, this update here is talking about the races that you can pick, and the races themselves do have traits. Some of these we don't know what they could be, like undead flesh for a Necrian. What's that going to do? So this definitely going to need to look at the rulebook for character creation or something like that. Now, anyway, it says there's a double-sided class sheet, and so I'm guessing one side is female, one is male, maybe. But it says a double-sided class sheet. Doesn't tell you what's on the other side. Look at this. They've got a huge skill tree to go through. So, do you want to make yourself stronger? Do you want to make yourself more, get a defense, shields, melee, or you want to go range? Do you want to have some spells? You've got class-specific cards. It says 9 to 12 here. I hope this expands, because I love the concept of having your own deck as a class. And then there's the idea of advancing, so you're going to be going through this tree, and 14 trees. There are all these where you could potentially push these in. Because if you look at the fighter here, this person has chosen body range melee defense. You can choose your ones, I believe. This is very reminiscent of Diablo 4, actually, where you can kind of add in another skill tree. And there's quite a lot in here, so, you know, you might want to go melee, but you're going to have some holy magic to create, which will effectively make you a paladin. You want to become a range character that's got survival, so you become like a kind of a hunter. So, you know, there's like, you can mix and match it here. This is what I mean by complexity, and they actually have these specific class trees here, but you can merge it around a little bit. It says it's taken inspiration from Path of Exile, which of course is famous for its skill trees in the video game industry. Final Fantasy X didn't actually play that, but you know, they're taking inspiration from the role-playing of video games, which are all kind of streamlined, fascinating, and wonderful to play with. So yeah, they believe that there's 128 different builds when you get to your T5, which means 5 of these trees. The one above the little one. So yeah, it says here a tier 5 fighter, or any class that has access to 4 general trees. So there's kind of rules of how much you can do and stuff like this. But it sounds like if you're going from one node to the other, that's a level up, isn't it? I mean, are you going to be leveling up a lot? It is strange how this is going to get unlocked. So So yeah, it says Tier 1 character begins with a main class feature unlocked, top left, and then one of a sphere of their choice on any available tree. So that's where you're kind of blending whatever you want to put in there. So there's definitely going to be a real... This concept of having different resolutions, they've got a real super close resolution towards character creation, haven't they? And how your character evolves. Well, open world exploration, let's have a look. So you've got world map resolution, zooms into a region. It's going to have, it says here, it has this aspect of these tier 1 to 5, and I think that's difficulty. So as you're leveling up, you don't really want to be going for the orange stuff, do you? You want to be hitting the tier 1 stuff until you're strong enough for the green tier 2. And it looks like there's different content based on all those levels. So that's kind of interesting. You will be roaming back and forth as you level up, roaming around this world. That's kind of fun. So it's not necessarily a... how do you say, linear activity. You are going to be roaming around, whatever you want to do, finding loads of loot and stuff. It sounds phenomenal, doesn't it? That's why I'm tentative about it, because it's super ambitious though, and it sounds really expensive. Loads of stuff to do. Oh man, it does sound so juicy, doesn't it? So yeah, super exciting stuff. Rumours then. Now, so what are these rumours are going to be doing? It says choice-driven style, providing different options for classes and skills, morality, and much more. It's interesting. Going to be pushing lower on you, and yeah, so it's going to be a part of the game is to ask people and go on the choose your own adventure when you go into an inn or whatever to try and find information about what's going on. Here it kind of says it can give you a combat encounter, a precarious discovery, interaction with an important individual, or a clue to a secret adventure. Hidden treasures sounds lovely. Shrines. It says these shrines. Here we go. It's talking here. Once explored, the sticker is removed from the board. So it potentially suggests that these sites are hidden, and it's rumours that put them on the board. Now it says the one-time use. So why are they stickers if they're one-time use? Unless they're resealable. This is the way they're doing it. I don't know why you just put a marker down. Because there is a fog of war anyway. You're not going to see everything. And when you discover stuff, can you not just put a tile down? Or if you get a rumour, can you not just put a tile down on the board? I don't know why it's stickers. But they say, we will make sure you will not run out of stickers. Legendary enemies. I really hope the legendary enemies are going down the coloured code of enemy types. So there is this concept of 5 legendary encounters, or I don't know, maybe there's 1 legendary in tier 1, there's 2 at tier 3, 3 at 4, 4 at 4, and then maybe 8 or 10 at tier 5, so you can go legendary monster hunting as the end game. That would be great, but I'm just kind of getting excited. Like again, we don't really know what's going on. So yeah, we've got open world here. Do you want to go left? Do you want to go right? And stuff like that. So you've got party miniature. That fog of war, so when you move into each region, things will change. You get an event as you move to each region, stuff like that. Then when you go to the embark on what it says a Waystone Adventure, that's when the deck of cards comes out, and you can see it's a little bit like... what's that game called? If you've not noticed, this channel is always off script. I never run off scripts, peeps. It's going off my own exploration and what's in my head. Like I said, it's as if you've met me in a pub. That's how we roll on this channel. Anyway, so when you choose it, you pull that card out and it'll make the thing bigger, so it has this. That's the fog of war, even when you're doing this up close. But yeah, you can see here like an example of how big it gets. So when you go in here, I love that it's a deck of cards, but it makes out an absolute massive dungeon, and that's going to be really exciting because there's a lot of these. And I think that's going to really set this apart from any other kind of RPG that you have in your RPG tabletop game that you have in your collection, because this is going to be absolutely spectacular. And we've only got like a little clue of what the high definition looks like when you're using this, but look at how sexy it looks. Super resolution detail. And because it's being used in a deck of cards, it can be stored pretty easy. This has got me really exciting. Plus these things that you're putting down, it does have these big numbers on them, and these numbers are going to be pertaining to the story, aren't they? Because it says here, gives you what might happen if you come in here. As you draw nearer to the area, you discern the muffled sound of a woman murmuring. Despite your proximity, the woman remains hidden from view. In addition, you notice the shadows of other individuals positioned across the room. At the back of the room, you see a particular contraption connected to a network of pipelines. If you want to linger and spy on the individuals, read clue 5. If you want to face the individuals, read clue 8. If you want to storm inside the room, weapons drawn, gaining the element of surprise, read clue 11. Or just leave. So lots of options when you come in here. And again, the narrative is procedural depending on what you do. Choose your own adventure as you go through. That's fantastic, it really is. Because potentially you could be replaying this and making different choices with the play groups that you have. It's going to be glorious. It just sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Alright, so that's 2 juicy updates. The gameplay trailer, we briefly looked through it, didn't we? And this is the latest one, which is on combat. I'm just going to blast through this. Uses a combat grid, enemy AI, standard and elite monsters, of course. Difficulty D4 to D12. It does say they've got health, the tier of the enemy, tier 1 to 5. They have their own defense. They have saves. If you saves is basically doing a spell, because you can't. Will is a spell, isn't it? Reflex is like an arrow. Grit is melee, so it's really in depth. Love it. Number of appearance per party size, so there might be multiple enemies or with the same AI. Special keywords, it says, for example here it says undead. You might have something that does extra damage to undead. There might be some traits with immunities, are immune to fire, for example, so any fire spells might not do as much damage or no damage at all. So yeah, it's highly in-depth. It might suggest here that certain enemies have weak spots on their body parts for you to aim at. These are potentially gigantic enemies that you're fighting, so some really epic encounters. Now it's funny, this one, special treasure. Sometimes an enemy carries a special treasure on the body parts. And once you've defeated the enemy, you can collect the special treasure. So it's interesting they call it a treasure. It's like monster hunting, isn't it? You're ripping off a piece of this crab they're talking about here to get some carapace, which is going to be some hard leather material for an armor. I don't think you can make plate out of carrot. It's like a really hardened leather. So yeah, and there's going to be lots of dice chucking. So yeah, it sounds great. It really walks you through combat. It sounds really fun. It's role playing. It's fair. Dice chucking. Love it. Love my dice chucking. And you can see there's multiple enemies going around, and it's interesting that you've got tanks that do it. Tanks here, as you can see, have completely surrounded the peeps here, so it's a little bit more chaotic. So you've really got to think about it, and yeah, you can wax these enemies out if they're fairly easy. So yeah, it's an interesting read because it walks you through the attack that's going on, and yeah, it sounds really good. Now they are advertising you go into the Discord if you want to know more, but I don't do any of that because I prefer to see the campaign from what you see when you come here, so I can kind of spot things out for the designer. But my God, it's looking so good, isn't it? And we have so much more information on this, and we've got no information on the Awakens Realm thingy, which is looking more of a mystery. And to be perfectly honest, it's got its work cut out, because this is looking stupendous. Story of many, isn't it? Oh my God, it's looking so good. Remember, they were at Essen last year, so hopefully we'll get more from the team when they're at Essen coming up, and we don't know when it's coming out on GameFound, but hopefully it is Q4 this year, and my guess is it'll come out around Essen. So, oh my goodness me, this is definitely my most tentative title that I've probably had on the channel, peeps. In all 5 years of doing this channel, this is the most game I'm excited for tentatively, because it's so ambitious. I just love the character creation, love the amount of words in the adventure text, love the whole different resolutions from the world map down into small areas, and then you get the choose your own adventure when you go through those dungeons. It looks so good. A grand role-playing adventure board game. That's a fantastic way of saying it, isn't it? It does look like that box is small though, doesn't it? But the box does sound like it's going to be an absolute epic big box, doesn't it? But my biggest tentative worry about this is how much is it going to be? And my biggest wish for it is acrylic standee pledge and lots of legendary monsters, not just a handful, but I want to see a lot, so that there's like an end game hunting going on. That would be delicious. And it would be also really good if the game had achievements, where if you finished a campaign, that maybe gave you something when you start another campaign. Maybe if it's just some extra gold or a new piece of armor, because that way you're actually benefiting from what you did in the other game. Kind of like that cross gain stuff that you did, so it gives you a bit of a leg up when you go into the next campaign or something like that, because it might feel, we play the other campaign so everyone starts with some extra armor or something like that, some extra money or something small like that, or we killed all the legendary enemies in our game so everybody can start now with a better weapon or something like that. That'd be kind of interesting. Anyway, peeps, I'd love to know what your thoughts are down below. Story of Many. For me, it's grab me by the balls. Just worried about the price. And want to see more. Want to see where the campaign goes. And all that good stuff. But wow, looking stupendous, isn't it? I wonder how long this game's been in development. But finally, it's going to be on GameFound soon. We can all get on the project and get really, really excited about it. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you're new here, please think about subscribing, give the video a comment, and remember, there's loads of great content on this channel that you can check out right about now. So thank you so much for watching. You take care, I'm Lipstickpaddy. This is Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye for now. Bye-bye.